afternoon, Lord, asking your mercy upon each and every one of us this evening. And Father, I bring Kamisha and all the other 14 candidates to you this week. We need you at this time, Father. Father, surround their homes, surround their family. I ask a special blessing for Mr. Ansel Dennis. Father, touch him at this time. Father, you know, and you alone knows what is going on at this time, but I know he's going to bring home victory for we and also Kamisha. Father, I lift up each and every one of us this evening in this meeting. And what we come here this evening to say and do, let it be successful in the welfare of our candidate, Kamisha. And I know by God's blessing, she will pull it on. So, Father, in all the mercies I bring to you this evening, in all the name, amen.
Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Ms. Nicey, for the word of prayer. You may have your seats. Hope, friends of Tobago, friends of the People's National Movement, friends of the electoral district of Goodwood, Mount St. George, again, I wish you all a good evening. Permit me to recognize in our midst political leader of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis, and the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. I also, ladies and gentlemen, would like to recognize in our midst executive officers of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement. I'm seeing Officer Mr. Adams, as well as other executive officers. I want to recognize those persons from the Tobago East Constituency Executive, party group members from this electoral district. I also want to give salutations and greetings to former Assemblyman, Mr. Godwin Adams, as well as the 15 strong standard bearers for the People's National Movement, 15 competent Tobagonians, passionate, focused on Tobago's development, 15 young persons dedicated to ensuring that we put Tobago first again. But leading the charge, we have our political leader and also one of our prospective candidates. And I'd like to invite our political leader to please come on stage and have a seat before we start our conversation. And then I also want to invite our prospective candidate for this electoral district, my area representative because I live in Goodwood, my former colleague, a young, strong, competent Hope woman, John Dial woman, Goodwood woman, a Tobago woman, Miss Kamisha Bacchus. Brothers and sisters, Tobago deserves better. But this is a conversation that will be carried from the floor. But before I invite you all to join in the conversation, we must hear from Our Lady, our next area representative, my friend, my former colleague, my future area representative, Ms. 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞. Ms. 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞, take a breath and tell us why you would remain the best person for the job all the time.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming out here this afternoon. A special good night to our political leader, Mr. Ansel Dennis. I am 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞. I am D, better known as D from Hope. Your canvasser, your taxi driver, your person at the mini-mart in John Dial when you're coming to the shop, the person you meet in the shop is 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐶. I would like to also say this afternoon that I am the proud daughter of Karen Bacchus Charles, who is in the crowd here tonight. Also the proud daughter of deceased Godfrey Musini, better known as Big Red and Tuku, from Georgia. I am also the proud mistress of Mr. Richard Boris, better known as Zumbi, and the proud mother of two beautiful girls, Blossom and Chrissy. I am your neighbor, your sister. I am the person that you would always meet when you're walking down the road. When you're coming home, I gotta drop up the hill when you're going home because I reside in the housing development. It's a real hard hill to climb, eh? So when you meet somebody on the road, you really have to get them a lift. Or if you meet them going down the hill. In my day, I was a added netballer. I ran track. I love sports. Right now I play competition all fours. I am a dedicated individual, a hard-working individual, not afraid to get these two hands here dirty at all. I am going to walk the streets with you, the residents of Goodwood, Mount St. George. I am going to be in the trenches with you. You are not going to be left to struggle at all alone. I am always going to be here for you, the residents of Goodwood, Mount St. George. I have a little story to tell. 27 years ago, when I was 18 years old, when I joined the People's National Movement, I never dreamt that I would have been here, sitting here in front of you here today. I started from down below, the bottom. I have always been serving. I have walked behind numerous candidates, behind doing the work. I am the person that used to meet you and help you fill out a form for a grant, help you fill out a form for a food card. I am the person for Christmas bringing the hampers on behalf of the candidates. So I am no stranger. I am no stranger to this electoral district. I am here not for myself. I have no other agenda but to be your servant leader. I will work diligently, hard for this constituency, just as I've been dedicated to my family, to the party. I will continue to be dedicated to the residents of this constituency. You can meet me at any time, anywhere. Flag me down like a car, like how others be hustling. Flag me down like a car and give me your concerns and your issues. And I would listen to you because I see you and I care for you, the residents of Goodwood, Mount St. George. So as I close this afternoon with just little part of the conversation, I am telling you that I'm going to serve you with honesty. I'm going to represent you with courage. And I'm going to lead you with courage and respect. I thank you.
Thank you, Kamisha. I'm convinced once again. So just as a little aside, Kamisha worked with me my first term at my constituency office. And when you talk about a true groundswoman, that's Kamisha. When you talk about somebody who would go beyond the call of duty, that's Kamisha. The person who could connect to the youth on the block, but still come at the occasion and rise and speak to the boss at the top, that is Kamisha. So I stand here this evening extremely proud to endorse Kamisha Bacchus as my next area representative for the electoral district of Goodwood, Mount St. George. And the same way we could endorse Kamisha and be proud of Kamisha, I could also stand here this evening and be extremely proud to introduce to you our political leader, my former boss, the person who challenged us at the Department of Community Development when boat master training was something unknown to Tobagonians. Only a few who could afford it would have been able to go to Trinidad to do it. He challenged us at Community Development to bring boat master training to Tobago so that fisher folk in Lambo, in Buku, all across Tobago could benefit from that training. And I've seen where persons who took that opportunity are thriving today and doing extremely well. I present to you to tell us why Goodwood, Mount St. George, and all of Tobago should once again place their confidence in Ansel K. Dennis as we work together to put Tobago first again. Mr. Dennis.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Webster-Roy. Good evening to Hope. How are you all doing? Well, at least one person is good. I ain't sure about the rest. Good evening to Hope. How are you all doing? Right. It's a pleasure to be here in support of one of the most hardworking individuals I've ever met, Kamisha Bacchus. Give her a round of applause. And I will be honest, and I hope the other members of the team don't have an issue with this, but we selected our candidates since August, which was, what, 2-3 months ago. And you see this particular young lady, she hit the ground running. She has actually started executing projects on behalf of the district way before she even gets into office. And I have to say that she's the hardest working member of the team thus far. Morning, noon, and night, she is on the ground. She's in somebody's house in this electoral district. She's in every street. She's in every corner. She's in every gully, communicating and interacting with you, the people of this electoral district. And you see, that didn't just start when she was selected as the candidate, as many of you will know, because she indicated that, of course, she joined the PNM at the age of 18, and you said that was, what, 27 years ago? So you all could do the maths and you'll get her age. But over the years, she has worked hard on behalf of this political party. She has supported many candidates, many assemblymen that previously represented this electoral district. She's worked closely with them, representing them, doing the work sometimes for them, and bringing services to you, the people of this electoral district. So this is not somebody that we're now introducing to you as a hard worker. This is somebody who has demonstrated throughout her life and throughout her involvement in this party and in the Tobago House of Assembly, that she's committed to people, that she loves people, and that she enjoys serving people. And therefore, I have no doubt that when the people of this electoral district called Goodwood, St. George make the right choice and elect this young lady, Ms. Kamisha Bacchus, as your assemblyman, that you will be electing somebody that will be committed to serving you day and night to ensure that your needs as an electoral district are met. And elections are always about making comparisons. And you, the people of this district, must reflect on the last 4 years. You must reflect on whether or not you got competent and good representation from the current assemblyman. Now, I know of many stories where there are people from this district, because many of them complain to me. I made the decision to make my number public when I was Chief Secretary back in 2020. And therefore, to this day, I still get calls from persons all across the island. And I get calls from a lot of persons from this district saying to me that they are unable to reach their area representative, that whenever they show up to the office for the office days, she's absent. Sometimes they wait long hours to be told that she's not coming again, to come back later, or come back tomorrow, or come back next week. And I am sure that once you elect this young lady, there'll be no coming back. So, you have a choice to make. But as we are in Hope Community Center, I want to talk about hope. Because it is important for us to encourage the people of Tobago at this point in time to have hope in the process and hope in the PNM. And it is important to note that in 2021, a political party called the PDP came to you making a number of promises and a number of commitments. And I know many Tobagonians believed in those promises. I know of many Tobagonians, some of them very close to me, who believed in the current Chief Secretary as somebody who cared, as somebody who was upstanding and decent and honest, and as somebody who will bring a positive impact to Tobago. I know many Tobagonians believed in the possibility of 6,000 permanent jobs happening within the first 6 months. I know of many Tobagonians who believed in the $10,000 ex gratia payment that was supposed to come in Christmas of 2021. I know many of you believed in those promises to make Tobago a better place. And therefore, I understand the great disappointment that you experience now, having overwhelmingly supported this political party that came with so much hope and so much promise and so much what you thought was competence and integrity and humility, only to be sorely disappointed over the last 4 years. And therefore, many of those persons are saying now that, look, we don't want any part of politics, man. If they could come to us and make all those promises and then make such an about turn, then We don't want any part of this going forward. And we are encountering a number of Tobagonians who are saying that they will never vote again. Because if Farley could do what he did to them, and if Faith could do what she did to them, then they could never again believe in any politician in Tobago going forward. And I understand that, because I can reflect on those times where those people came with black and green as their colors of choice. Some were back then wearing boots and jeans and very humble dress codes. They answered your telephone calls at that point in time. They told you all the right things, all the things that you wanted to hear. They said that to you, only to make an about turn as soon as they were elected into office. And therefore, the cries of neglect and the screams of abandonment and the pain of victimization and mistreatment echoes across every single electoral district and community here in Tobago. But I want to say to you that notwithstanding that, there is a hope, and there is a party called the People's National Movement that you can put your trust in. Because you see, we are not coming to you as a new organization. We're coming to you as a party that has been committed to the development and upliftment of the people of Tobago for many, many years, 60 plus years. And of course, during our time in the Tobago House of Assembly, we've had life-changing outcomes as a result of our policies. And while you allowed those people who are in office now to convince you that the Tobago that you had at the time needed to be changed and needed to be improved significantly, I am sure you realize now that the PNM actually had this island on the right track and on the right path. Now, we're not perfect. We've made mistakes along the way. The PNM comprises human beings. If you take a needle and choke me now, you'll see blood. If you do the same to Kamisha, you'll see blood. If you do the same to any member of the team, you'll see blood. We are human beings, and we are likely to make mistakes. But what I can tell you also is that as human beings, we are sincerely committed to the development of our fellow human beings right here in Tobago. And I'm saying, if you judge all of them, all of us, and Kamisha especially, by her track record, the fact that as a taxi driver, as a shopkeeper, as a canvasser for this party, as somebody who worked in the office of the assemblyman, as somebody working right now in the THA in the YES program, if you judge her by her actions, then you should be convinced that when she comes here this evening and say to you that she cares and that she will do all in her power to improve your quality of life, then you should believe her based on her track record. So we are here to offer hope at Hope Community Center. And while, of course, there will be changes, because the next PNM administration is going to be different in many ways than previous PNM administration. Because, yes, it's the same political party, but with every leader, while the philosophies of the party remain the same, and while the basic tenets and principles of the party remains the same, every leader will come with a new vision. And therefore, the vision of Orville London was not the same vision as Kelvin Charles, though the basic principles remained the same. And I'm holding out to you that the vision and the ideas of Ansel Dennis will be quite different from the vision and the ideas of previous leaders of the People's National Movement. So there will be changes, but I want to assure you that those changes will be for the better. So the next PNM 𝐇𝐨𝐻𝐸, having benefited from 4 years of learning, from 4 years of listening, because I will admit to you that sometimes when you are in a position for too long, you can lose sight of the bigger picture, and some complacency can step in. And therefore, democracy allows that whenever the population feels that there is need for a change, that they can vote for that change. And therefore, we listened to you. We went back and we did the introspection, we did the research, and we came to an understanding as to what you, the people of Tobago, wanted to see from the PNM back then. And therefore, we are now in a far better position to do significantly better. Because while 21 years, of course, was excellent, there are those who will tell you that we didn't do anything and it was crap and so on. But I'm not going to come here every night and continue to belabor the point that the PNM delivered for 21 years. I mean, the community center that we are sitting in now is testament to the PNM's commitment to the people of this community. And every community across Tobago has evidence of that track record. So while we would have done excellently, and why we would have done right by you, the people of Tobago, for 21 years, I am guaranteeing you that with this team and under this great party, once you elect us back into the Tobago House of Assembly, we will do far better than we did in those very good 21 years. So I'm saying to you that notwithstanding the fact that you have been disappointed, the people of Palatavia, Lansam, Speyside have been disappointed by Farley Augustine. The people of Roxborough, Argyle have been disappointed by Watson Duke. The people of Belgarden, Glamorgan have been greatly disappointed by Faith B. Israel. The people of this electoral district have been disappointed by Megan Morrison. And across every electoral district except Darrell Spring Wim, good representation is missing. And therefore, when we come to you, we are coming as a resurgent, we're coming as a refreshed, we're coming as a revived, and we're coming as a recommitted People's National Movement to ensure that we turn back the evil hands that are currently selling out Tobago's resources, and to ensure that we put you, the people of Tobago, first again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, political leader, for reminding us why we need to put Tobago first again. Brothers and sisters of this electoral district, brothers and sisters of Tobago, how do you feel when you know millions of dollars would have been spent and your ambulance is spirited away in the bush somewhere? How do you feel when you know, the people of Goodwood, that your pavilion was started and was on the road to completion, but after December 2021, it was left as a white elephant? How do you feel, people of Hope, when there were promises that they will continue the expansion of the PNM housing estate and nothing was done? Tobago, how do you feel? We have a team of 15 committed Tobagonians. In one meeting, we were told that when we talk about putting Tobago first, and this is what our political leaders said, it's not about putting the island first, but putting each and every one of you, every single Tobagonian first in the equation when we talk of development. We heard about a bold new vision in the meeting in Ford. We heard about the People's National Movement doing some self-searching, some assessment over the last 4 years and coming to you this evening a commitment to come back to the people of Tobago, revitalized and recommitted, ensuring that we put Tobago first again. But we want you to join the conversation. I'm asking you all, when you get up to make your deliberations, to make your contributions, please state your name if you want to state your name. If you don't want to be on camera, put your hand up so we could signal to those who are recording not to put you on the screen. But this is a conversation. We want to hear from you. We are doing this with you and for you. Tobago deserves better. But for us to understand what that better is, we have to hear from you. So I now open the floor for contributions of those of you gathered here this evening. Remember, this isn't a PNM story, a PNM conversation. This is a Tobago conversation for all of us who love and believe in a stronger, better Tobago, and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago. No problem. So we have one person making an intervention, and please don't put on the camera, please. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Hi, pleasant good night. I wouldn't state my name. Right, so my question is this, right? And I'm going to talk here from experience. Should the PNM recapture Tobago, the 𝐇𝐨𝐻𝐸, right? I want to know what you all will be doing in terms of the hospital, right? Because right now, there is no medication. You're not even getting generic medication, right? You have to go by the pharmacy and spend a lot of money, and they're jacking up the prices, right? So I want to know what are the steps that you all are going to take, because the healthcare system has been in a downward trajectory. As a matter of fact, they crash, right? And I want to know, what are you all going to do to uplift the hospital, the healthcare system in Tobago? Because I'm talking from experience. I have shares up in Scarborough General Hospital. Me always there. So I want to know, how are you going to treat with that issue for individuals to have a peace of mind that even we could get the medication? You understand me? We want the medication. Me want medication. Right now, me want medication. Right? So I need to know, what would you be doing to make the system better for the whole of Tobago?
Excellent question. Here's what I know. It's about priorities. And the reason that you do not have access to the medications that Tobagonians need at the hospital is because clearly there is no money available to purchase those medications. And the reason there is no money available to purchase those medications is because the money is being squandered on other things. Let's look at overseas travel, for example. Now, I'm not sure what is the cost of the medications that you are describing. Well, I'm not sure in terms of the overall cost for the TRH and how to procure those medications and to have adequate stock so that people like you and other Tobagonians can have access to those medications at the hospital. But are you aware that the travel bill, for example, in the 𝐇𝐨𝐲 right now is $25 million? Are you aware that the TRH currently spends, I can't remember the monthly figure, I don't know if Petal will be able to remind me, but perhaps by now over the last 4 years, they have spent in excess of $12 million on incineration services to a company from Trinidad, when a new incinerator would have cost approximately $250,000 US. So the amount of money that they have spent so far over the last 4 years could have purchased several incinerators. Are you aware that notwithstanding the fact that there were ambulance units such as Isuzu brand and Toyota brand, and for those of you who know about vehicles, you will know that those two brands are very reliable. So those brands were available to the TRH to be purchased at a cost of around $800,000 per unit, and they opted to purchase a brand called Force. I've never encountered that brand of vehicle in my life. So they purchased that brand out of India at a unit cost of $1.5 million and a total cost of $18 million. And those ambulances are still not yet available to be utilized by you, the people of Tobago. In fact, we were looking for them, and the minority leader found one of them couple days ago parked in the bush behind a garage, the brand new ambulance. The issue is, if you waste scarce resources and you put money into things that should not be priority, then you are in fact going to have those challenges. And I could tell you, number one, the next PNM 𝐇𝐨𝐻 administration will prioritize the things that are important. No secretary will jump on any plane 3 and 4 times a year while you can't get medication in the hospital. That will not happen, right? The other thing as it relates to healthcare, and I want to, of course, say to you that we have 2 good hospitals, 2 very good hospitals, thanks to the People's National Movement. Now, of course, again, due to mismanagement, the Roxborough Hospital is still not yet fully operational to the extent where it delivers all the services that it was designed to deliver. And the Scarborough Hospital still doesn't have a functional MRI and functional CT scan and other diagnostic services. Again, that is as a result of mismanagement and the fact that these people do not prioritize your health care. And that is a dangerous thing. The fact that, God forbid, if somebody suffers a medical emergency now and you call an ambulance, you are unlikely to get an ambulance responding in a timely manner, because the new ambulances that were purchased are simply not available, notwithstanding the fact that $18 million left the 𝐇𝐨𝐻's account and went to the supplier. So we are committed to ensuring that priority is placed on the things that are important to you, the people of Tobago. Right? Now, in the hospital currently, you have a number of Tobagonian doctors, some of them very young. Every time I visit the hospital, and thank God I don't go there due to illness, but I go there to visit other people sometimes. And of course, I've been there 3 times in the labor room. And I'm hoping to go again soon. I hope my wife can watch it. But every time I've been there, I notice a number of young Tobagonian doctors. Some of them who went to school with me in Signal Hill Secondary School. And the sad reality is that many of them are frustrated at the system. Many of them are frustrated that they can't get the correct equipment. They can't get the correct resources to discharge their responsibilities to you, the people of Tobago, effectively. In fact, I'm aware of 3 of our most talented doctors trained with your money and developed right here in Tobago. They have left Tobago, left the hospital, fed up of the nonsense taking place, and they have gone to serve other people in other countries. And I'm saying to you that we are committed as the next PNM administration to return dignity, to return sound management to Tobago's healthcare, to ensure that the necessary resources are provided and that the systems are improved to the extent that we will go after every single Tobago doctor who left here to bring them back to Tobago to serve you, the people of Tobago. The final thing I want to talk about in relation to healthcare, because it's good to have a good hospital, which we have. It's good to manage it properly so it's always well equipped with medications and working equipment and so on. And it's good to ensure that we retain the talent so that we have competent and qualified people, especially those that we trained, because I don't know if you know, the PNM has been delivering to the people of Tobago so effectively that there are people who work CPEP all their life and their children are doctors. Had it not been for the PNM and the PNM policies, there was no way somebody on a CPEP salary could have afforded to send their child to medical school, thanks to the PNM. But the other issue we must confront where healthcare is concerned is customer service. And that doesn't apply only to healthcare. It applies to tourism. It applies to the public service generally. And perhaps it applies to every single aspect of Tobago. We do not deliver the best customer service. And I'm saying that notwithstanding shortage of equipment, shortage of medication, some of the people in the hospital can and should do better in terms of their customer service. And that is something that we will pay attention to. In fact, just before I left office, we were on the verge of starting an island-wide customer service training program. I don't know what happened to it, but I can tell you that upon our return, we will restart and execute that program and drive the issue of customer service training across every single sector in Tobago. People must treat each other with love. People must treat each other with empathy. People must treat each other with sympathy, especially in the healthcare sector. So we will ensure that we return training, effective customer service training, to ensure we improve that aspect of our healthcare. And of course, one of the things we will definitely tackle is the issue of wait time. It cannot be that the average Tobagonian will go to the hospital now, it is 8:30, and you are not going to leave there. You are not likely to leave there before 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We have to find a way to fix that. Somebody saying all 8:30, so that's a 12-hour wait. We have to find a way to drive down wait times in the healthcare system. And other countries have done it. The United Kingdom was able to do it. They were able to put systems in place and track the wait time where it used to be 6 and 8 hours to under 2 hours in the UK health system. And I'm saying that that is something we will prioritize. We will look at the operations of the hospital, and I will tell you this. There was a Secretary of Health called Dr. Agatha Carrington. And those are some of the issues that she was tackling frontally at that point in time. And I'm saying when the next PNM administration returns to the Tobago House of Assembly, we will ensure that we reduce your wait time in the hospitals across this island, whether it be Scarborough or Roxborough.
Tobagonians or political leader reminded us that charity begins at home and good quality customer service should not be denied any Tobagonian or anyone visiting any of our public offices or health institutions. So there's a commitment when the People's National Movement returns to office as the executive for us to implement an island-wide customer service training, something that was initially spearheaded by then Chief Secretary Ansel K. Dennis, and something that will continue when we are re-elected. Also, we were reminded that we need to return dignity to our services, the way we work with each other, the way we treat each other in public life. And I want to thank the young lady for raising that issue and initiating such a very fruitful discussion. We still open, the conversation continues. We're inviting persons to step forward. If you don't want to be on camera, you put your hand up so I'll make sure that you're not captured. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Mr. Dennis, my dear friend raised one of the questions that I had on, well, she raised on medication, but you went on to my question on time, wait time. All right, so that's covered. I have 2 more for you, but I will come back to you. Mrs. Webster-Roy, she spoke earlier about the development up here, BNM. And I want to say, for the 18 years I did what I did in an establishment, I know for a fact that there are no other lands in BNM to give out. So I don't know why they are fooling the people. The lands are, what do you call it? Reclaimed. Is reclaimed? Help me, Shami. Backfilled lands, and that's the reason it was not given out back then, right? And I did all those developments from Roxborough right back to Adventure, Colon. In the early days, I did workshops for 𝐇𝐨𝐻, and that's something I think you all should start back when we get back in there, in terms of letting the people be aware of what they're getting into. Right, because the workshops were done with people knowing what they qualify for, how they could qualify, and Tech, WASA. Everybody was there to advise the people on how to move ahead. There are no more lands in BNM, so those people who would be listening to this session of the community talks, it are no more land in BNM. Right. Kamisha, I like to write my stuff, so don't mind I reading. I have known 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞 quite a while, and I have known 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞 to be somebody who, 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞 don't take it wrong when I say like to talk, but she likes to meet people, she likes to talk to people, and that's who I know, right? And 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞, since I found out that she is going for this area, she has been walking the ground and meeting people. She has been doing that. She has been looking at small projects to be done in the community. Thank you, 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞. However, I would like to encourage you, right, even after you would have won your seat, to continue engaging the people, set up regular and visible office hours in the Village of Hope so that people know where and when they can talk to you, right? If you are not in office, at least somebody who is there knows what is happening. You're not there, they will be able to talk with the people and advise them. Continue to walk through the area. You know, sometimes when a man and a woman courting, and as soon as they get married, all that go out to the cinema and go out to party and things done? No, continue. Yeah? All right. Look at the area, the condition of the roads, the drainage, the lighting, etc. All right? And try to put things, we all know that everything won't happen at once, but try to put things in place to deal with the situation. Not just take a report and put it down. That's not what we're voting you for. Yeah? Ensure reports are documented, concerns and issues are followed up on. Keep a log of all the issues. So even if somebody comes to you and say, but 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐞, I came to your office and, you know, I said what my issue was, at least you have a log of it. You may not get to them immediately, but you can work on it. As best as you can, have meeting with the people in the village, invite feedback, so at least you know where you stand and what you're doing and what you're not doing. All right? Ensure that you understand how the 𝐇𝐨𝐻𝐴 works. What is under their remit and what is under central government. Yeah? Communication is important. That is one of my pet peeves. Talk to me. Have a reporting system. Have meetings with your community. Let's share. Just like we're sharing here now and telling you what you know, what is happening, because you will not know everything that is happening. All right? And you're doing all these things within a reasonable time frame. People, we know that she can't do everything all at once, but we are the ones to help her. The people who know what is what, help her. She can't do it by herself. All right? Political leader, you too, you know, we gotta help you too. Okay? While you would be the representative of the area, which is a small piece of Tobago, well, I went into that. It's our duty to help you. All right? Because we want to bring Tobago back to normalcy, put Tobago first again, because Tobago deserves better than we are getting now. Right. So, political leader to you now. I want you to give me or us 2 specific failures of the current 𝐇𝐨𝐻𝐴 administration you intend to correct immediately. That's 1. Well, you dealt with the healthcare part of it. So my next question is, with the type of, don't ask me no question, let us go and fight a war with a pistol against massive armory that we cannot even match attitude, how will you advocate and ensure Tobago's voice is heard and respected in national decision-making? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Two very good questions. But I want to start with a story. I'll respond to both of them. Well, let me respond to the question first, and then I'll tell you a story. Two things to be corrected immediately. You see that situation where our Tobagonian businesses have been completely sidelined for the last 4 years, and the Tobagonians that we spent many years developing in Tobago, who were fixing our roads, building our drains, building our retaining walls, building the access roads for the farmers, repairing the schools, building the early childhood centers. You see the situation now where suddenly Tobagonians are no longer good enough and have been completely sidelined and blacklisted. That will be stopped immediately from day one. The other thing that will be stopped immediately, you see this thing where every Monday morning, a secretary jumps on a plane at significant cost to the taxpayers, at significant cost to the 𝐇𝐨𝐻, to do some frivolous things, such as attend a credit union conference, or attend a conference, or to go and look at Carnival in Grenada, or to go and tour a housing. This one was so ridiculous. A secretary and a hell of a team left Tobago, a team of about 15. Right? That trip would have cost you close to $1 million. They left here and they went to Jamaica to see how to build houses. They went to Jamaica, to housing developments in Jamaica, to see how to build houses. Because apparently, we never built houses in Tobago before. And even if we never built houses in Tobago before, there are no examples of housing developments in Trinidad. So they had to leave here to go quite Jamaica to see how to build houses. So you see those ridiculous, unnecessary trips, and I'm putting all the possible secretaries in the next PNM administration on notice. Because you could travel if you want, as much as you want, but with your money and on your time. And as was the case under previous PNM administrations, secretaries will only travel under 3 conditions funded by the state. 1, with the express approval of the Executive Council. 2, in cases where there is proper justification and specific and tangible benefits to be derived from those trips on behalf of the people of Tobago. And 3, where we can demonstrate those benefits to the people of Tobago when we return through reporting to the people of Tobago. Only those conditions. And it's nothing new, because I can tell you, under Mr. Orbit London and under Mr. Kelvin Charles, no secretary could just pick up and leave to go a conference and to watch a house and to go and taste wine and all those kinds of things. So those are just 2 of the things that will change immediately. The other question was, remind me. What's the other question, you remember? Anybody remember the other question?
How will you advocate?
Right,
and
advocate for
ensure-
Tobago. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The good thing is I've been advocating for Tobago even while I have not been the Chief Secretary.
That's right.
When this ridiculous situation started with the Prime Minister suddenly moving away from our long-standing track record, our long-standing, very clear diplomatic position of neutrality and support and unity with CARICOM, I was the first Tobago voice to speak up and say not just to Tobagonians, but to the country, that we don't want any war in our region. The speech is on my Facebook page, and it's also on my YouTube page, and there was a shorter clip that I posted for Republic Day, I think it was, where I spoke on behalf of you, the people of Tobago. I even said that our fishermen, our market vendors, our tour operators, our hotel workers, our taxi drivers, you know why they make money? Because of peace. The minute any semblance of instability breaks out in our region, their incomes and livelihoods will be gone immediately. Our region, our tourism, our trade, our agriculture, our very existence, our lives, how we know it, thrives on peace. We're not accustomed to war. We're not even built for war. You know what our soldiers do? Our soldiers respond to natural disasters. We even send them across the Caribbean to help with those things. They march to military parades. They, of course, support the police service when crime gets out of control. I don't even think we have rocket launchers. I don't know. We definitely don't have any Apache helicopters. We definitely don't have any fighter jets. I don't even think we have drones capable of striking anywhere. So, since when the leadership of this country is talking about killing people violently who have not even been tried before a court, who have not been even apprehended with evidence of their crime? Since when? Since when we are talking about the Caribbean not being a zone of peace because we have crime problems? If our crime problems are causing us to not be a zone of peace, then nowhere in the world, not even the United States, is a zone of peace, because crime affects everywhere. So I have been speaking up for the people of Tobago, and I can tell you that as your Chief Secretary, whether it's a PNM government or whether it's a UNC government at the national level, in my mind, in my book, Tobago comes first. And I just want to end by telling you a little story. And after that, please pose all the questions to Kamisha. I think I've said enough. Now, imagine, I want you all to imagine with me. Use your imagination. Imagine you have a house, and you had a builder on this house, taking their time to build this house for you for 21 years. And over 21 years, they were able to move from foundation. And initially, you may have wanted the house to be completed in 1 year, but the builder keep explaining to you that, look, take your time. This is a process. It ain't gonna happen overnight. But be assured that by the time we finish, you're gonna like your house. So we take with time, we finish the foundation, we finish up the first floor, and we start to block up, and we furnish 1 or 2 rooms, and the kitchen, we started to put the kitchen together, and you have your nice granite countertops, and your cool have fixtures, and your touch sensors for your bathroom and so on. And the house progressing nicely. And then our next builder came and convinced you. That builder you have, they're doing that project, they don't know what they're doing. They're taking too long to build a house there. And you see that counter that they have in granite, that should have been quartz. We would have put quartz if it was we. And of course, you take chain up and you fire the builder. And you hire the new builder, and well, you expect that the new builder will continue to build the house. But they come, they break out the faucet and throw it away. They take off the granite off the countertop and sprang it out to somebody from Trinidad. The wall you had in red, they come and they paint it black. After a while, they change their mind. They say, spend more money, let me paint it blue. Right? They come now, they start to knock out the blocks that the previous builder had put up, saying they didn't like how it looked. And little by little, you seeing that the house that was progressing nicely for 21 years, starting to fall apart before your eyes. And you're only spending money and spending, and the more money you spend, the more bad money you spend, is the more the house falling apart. And the same builder telling you, give me more time. Give me some more time. I want some more time. I ain't have enough time. More time to mash up the house. Now, had the builder been progressing, continuing the work, and you're seeing some progress, and you move from the foundation and the first floor that you had before, and the second floor started to take shape, and they furnish a couple more rooms, and they paint up a couple more areas, and they fix up the yard. If they did that for 4 years and come to tell you they want more time, then you wouldn't mind, right? But if as soon as you give them the work, them start to tear the house apart, what are you giving them more time to do? And I can tell you that the day you make the mistake and give that worthless, incompetent, scampish, thieving builder another 4 years to construct that house, they're going to sell out the materials. They're going to take out all the expensive fixtures you had in it before and thief it and carry it home in their house and sell off some, and they will break the house down. Are you done?
Thank you. Thank you, political leader, for such a powerful analogy. We have a question for Ms. Bacchus from online, and Kamisha, the question is this. Based on your experience on the ground and your engagement with the people thus far, what are some initiatives you plan to implement to meet people where they are? Do it over again. Based on your experience on the ground and your engagement with people thus far, what are some initiatives that you plan to implement to meet people where they are?
Well, one of my main initiatives that I want to employ to meet people where they are is taking a little page from Ms. Roy's book with her roving public day. So if I'm having a roving public day, doesn't mean that I have to be down at Hope Junction where everybody has to pass and see have a roving day. I can have a roving day right in the housing scheme in the junction where I live to accommodate the people in the housing scheme. I could have a roving day up on the hill in James Street to accommodate the people from James Street. I could have a roving day in John Dial down in Corbin Trace or in Bab Gully. You understand? I could have a roving day over in Douglas Street. In that way, you'll be able to meet the residents at their level. They don't want to catch a cow, take transportation to come to you. And you need to have more frequent public days. In that way, they don't really have to come to seek you and look for you and these kind of things now. So I want to employ that roving day into the community so I'll be able to be more in tune with the residents. Because when they see me often, and I see them more often, I'll be able to know their issues and their concerns, and we can address it better. Be it if it's just getting information, or that's leading them in the right direction. You need to be there with the residents to know what's going on, to be able to help the residents better.
Another question from online, Kamisha, and this person is asking, since you have started working the ground, what has been one significant project that you would have embarked on and completed?
Well, the one significant thing that I have embarked on so far is the step between River Road and Douglas Trace that was in a deplorable state, full of bush, full of moss. People really couldn't use the step properly to traverse between the village, to come from River Road, to come to Douglas Street. So me and my team came together and we weed out the step and we power wash the step and we bring the step back to a level of normalcy. So the people in the area now could utilize the step. And that is just phase one. We're going on to phase two soon.
Another comment coming in online, any plans for John Dial?
Yes, we have big plans for John Dial. Because the John Dial people are very dear to my heart, and it's a little small community where they are complaining tirelessly about the roads, and we need to get better roads for John Dial people because they live right on the edge of the road. And you notice to be living right at the edge of the road and you only badang, badang every second because of a pothole? Because every second a car passing, a big truck passing, and they're making noise. You can't sleep properly in night time come. So we need to fix the roads in John Dial.
Kamisha, they're coming in fast and furious, but you're doing quite well. What has been your interaction with Goodwood to date?
My interaction with Goodwood so far has been very good. I have walked, you could say, half of Goodwood already. I have met with a lot of the young people who their main cry is unemployment. We need to seriously do something about the unemployment rate in this constituency. We have too much of young people, talented young people in this community that are unemployed. And as time goes along, from me talking and interacting with them, finding out what their skills are and what their talents are, because they're very talented. We want to encourage some of them to become entrepreneurs, to open their own business. And they, in turn, could help build the community by employing other persons from the community.
So apparently Mount St. George is feeling a little bit left out. They're asking, what about Mount St. George?
Well, for Mount St. George, it has been going, the work has been going good so far. We need to fix the lights at Riverbank Oval. The lights need to be fixed because right now the fellas can't play football in the night, they can't practice in the night. And we have a very talented, hard-working and dedicated football team in Georgia. Right? So we need to fix the lights in Georgia. We also have an unemployment problem in Georgia, right? That we need to fix. The roads need to fix. Georgia needs some dustbins. There are too many residents that are utilizing the side of the road as the dustbin. We need to get more dustbins in the area so that we can have a healthier community.
Okay, I'm inviting the audience again. Please feel free to come join the conversation. It's going quite lovely. and we're excited to hear from you here.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Garvin Walters. The camera could be on me. There's no problem with that. I might have a statement to make and then I'll address my candidate. I have a theory that I constantly repeat for a long time. And that is, the only PNM I know is me, right? And that is because of the history of the PNM that I experienced myself over the years. So I have a keen idea of where we came from as a party, what we've been through as a party, the hostility, the aggression, the lack of interest in candidates. That on one occasion in the 80s, we had a candidate that went up against the great A.N.R. Robinson. And they had it to say that they sent a housewife to tackle a wee boy. Unfortunately, she didn't win. She couldn't win because that's the best we had at the time. But I've always thought about the idea that the party could have something like a whole day seminar of political education, educating the young people in the party, because we have a lot of young candidates. And I guess that is part of the ideology of the party, to invest in youth. And it's very admirable that we have a number of young people. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't know the history of the PNM and what we went through. They are now in good times. But the foundation was laid by the same housewife who had also go up against A.N.R. Robinson back in the day. Because during canvassing, it was difficult to enter the yard of somebody who's not a PNM. Either they will send a dog behind him. I remember speaking to an old PNM stalwart, somewhere in the 80s, ex-police officer. And he was doing some walkabout in Speyside. And he was entering the yard of somebody that he knew with a team of people. And that woman was setting for them. She had a posy with feces and pee. And when they came up, dash it. And he was able to get out of the way in time. I don't think anybody was affected. And when she recognized that he was there, she was so apologetic. She didn't know and stuff like that. And that is what we went through for 20 how much years. I don't think there's any other party in Tobago that could have withstood that kind of hostility and aggression and still survive. Went into the 𝐇𝐨𝐲𝐞 for 20 years, or 21 years as they say, and run this country to a point that we have never been before, right? So when you hear people coming with this 21 years rhetoric, tell them there were 20 years before that, from 1980 to 2001. And let them tell you what was achieved in those first 20 years compared to the PNM's 21 years. You understand? Because there's no sphere where they were better than us. In 2001 under Orville London, we had improvement in every aspect, in sports, in agriculture, in tourism, because I worked tourism with Mr. Wilson for 8 years, and I know where we came to, from where we came from in tourism, right? We had the best finance secretary in Dr. Ansem London. The best. We had the best of everything. We had the best education, secretary, health, you name it, compared to these what we have now in the last 4 years. Chalk and cheese, right? So, knowledge is power. And if we could have this dream of mine to educate the younger folks to know exactly where we came from, how tough it was. That is why I have this love and passion for the PNM, because I know where we came from, right? But where 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞 is concerned, honestly, I do believe that representation will be your strong point. You understand? Because when you compare what we had for the last 4 years, we had no representation. Right? You're the type of person that is approachable. You're not unapproachable. You don't have a chip on your shoulder. You're loved by a lot of people, and that is most important. What I don't want you to do is making personal promises to people. Right? And that is a mistake that politicians do. Make personal promises. Because these people will hold it to you. That you tell me whether I do this for me. It's not about them. It's about the whole constituency of Mount St. George and Goodwood. You understand? Just be real. Be honest. Be transparent. You know, and accountable to your people. And trust me, once you do all that is required, nobody ain't going to move you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. One more question for 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞 from online. And 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞, the question is this. How do you intend to build capacity and skills in your electoral district to ensure that young persons are employable and or equipped to open businesses? I'll read it again. How do you intend to build capacity and skills in your electoral district to ensure that young persons are employable and or equipped to open businesses?
First and foremost, I plan to utilize the skills of the people in the community. We have a lot of community centers that are underutilized. So if we have teachers, we have welders, we have good carpenters, we have good farmers in the area that you can lobby with and talk to get to come to these same establishments here and help the young people to learn a skill, to help them to sharpen their skills, because some of them have a good fair idea already what to do and go about it, you know, and while they're here, employ upon them to let them know that, okay, it was not just about you knowing to do this skill, you have to know a little book work about it, you have to learn to do bookkeeping and all these different little things, and help them from this level, because sometimes you want to meet them a little bit too high for them that they can't cope, so you have to meet them on their level. So if you utilize the community centers that we have here and utilize the skills and the talents of the people in the community to be able to help the young people and sharpen their skills better, to help them to build their capacity, along with, yes, you gotta help them to do up applications, to get grants, to get little material and get stocks and so forth for their business. But you have to go hand in hand with the community, helping to build the young people in the community. Spend a little time in the evening time and come out and help a young person. So I intend to talk to the persons and find out all the people in the area who are skilled and try to tie them into the young people to help to build their capacity going forward.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have time to take one more question from, right. Very brief intervention, and then we'll invite 𝐂𝐨𝐲𝐞 to give her closing remarks, and then Mr. Dennis, our political leader, to do his closing remarks. Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I am me. First, I want to give the young people a warning. This is election time. A lot of foolishness will come to you all. They will offer you all kinds of things, but I want to tell the young people, if you have a car and you sell your car, give somebody, they're bound to give you a job. So if these people pay you to vote for them, they're bound to do nothing for you. That is one. Two, they're bound to come and, if you call them, they're bound to answer you. And I want to warn the people in CPEP and URP. This thing coming. CPEP was designed in Tobago. And Mr. Manning came to Tobago and see the beautification of Tobago and took it home to Trinidad and launched it as CPEP. I know what bothered me? The people running this assembly, CPEP is a national project, it's a national thing. CPEP and URP. You must put something in the kitty for the Tobago House of Assembly to run CPEP. It used to be 18 million, and the Tobago House of Assembly put 18 million. The Tobago House of Assembly was the first place that stopped sending home people or stopped the program. CPEP started to go straight into Tobago because the Tobago House of Assembly matched 18 million. So CPEP and URP people, don't be fooled. Like as they're fooling the people about lands in Milford Court and so on. For you to take land in Milford Court to give somebody, all the land in Milford Court is owned by people. So you have to go to court to move the owner of the land before they give people. The representative, I'm not saying prospective candidate, the candidate for Hope, Mount St. George, Goodwood, or whatsoever. I did not know the lady, but 2021, when PNM lost election, we was talking, she met me. And the conversation was, what are you doing to bring back PNM into the war? But fortunately, we had now make arrangement with the Minister of Housing in Trinidad to get some grants into Tobago. And before the grants document the forms and them reached Tobago, she reached trying to get grant, the document to share out in Hope and Mount St. George, and I said, Madam, you crazy? The things that never reach here yet. So I understand that she have a passion. A question to you, Ms. Lady. What made you put your hat in the ring for PNM? Did somebody advise you, somebody beg you to throw your hat in the ring? Because election, to be a candidate for election is a rough thing. You'll hear what your mother do, you go hear what your brother do, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, some of them even know them. So expect roughness coming. And I will advise you, don't retaliate. Get your soldiers to fight your war. Good night.
Thank you very much for your words of caution. Kamisha, this is your opportunity to give your final pitch.
Answer the question that you asked?
Yes.
Right. So honestly speaking, I went to work a day, and my boss make a joke with me and asked me why I put forward myself for Goodwood Mount St. George. And I stated my case at the point in time because I never really gave it much thought. But he planted a seed in my mind. And I went home and I thinking about this thing, I talked to my mister about it. I talked to my daughter about it. I say, let me talk to Mr. Jack about it a little bit. Let me talk to Mr. Adams about it. And I'm thinking and I'm thinking. And I say, you know, there is no better person to be the representative than myself. That is the conclusion that I came to after analyzing this whole situation. Because I have walked this whole district. I have walked 3/4 of Tobago, canvassing with other candidates from all parts of Tobago. I understand how the People's National Movement is run. And I want to give back to the people of Tobago, so I'm giving myself. And you all can look forward to serious representation where I'm going to be there, as I tell all from the initial conversation. I am going to walk the streets with you all. I am going to be in the trenches with you. When you have a wake, I come and serve the fish broth. Yeah, that is Kamisha. I will be down there with you, moving up and down, doing things, helping in any way that I can. When you're ready to cry, I'm crying with you. When you're happy, I'm happy with you too. Because I consider myself to be a servant, and yes, the People's National Movement has done a lot for me individually, and I have seen where they have done a lot for 3/4 of Tobago. And I want to be able to be that vessel to bring a better voice. We little enough, we real little. Hope and Jandal, but we need a stronger voice. And including Goodwood and Mount St. George, who have no voice right now at all. We want to have a stronger voice in this district of Goodwood, Mount St. George. So I have put forward myself to serve.
I wish the online audience could see what is happening here at the Hope Community Center. Kamisha got a standing ovation from a packed auditorium. I am extremely proud of Kamisha this evening. For those persons who are here from Goodwood, from Mount St. George, from John Dial, from Hope, I've seen people from Plymouth, from Blackrock, from all over. Kamisha, you have been well endorsed. Well done. And now, Mr. Dennis, our political leader, Ansel K. Dennis, this is your time to give your final plug and say why you are the best person to lead the charge in putting Tobago first again.
Thank you. And as we close, there's a difference between selling yourself and selling your real self. And I think Kamisha has sold her real self. So I really want to end by endorsing her, not just as the candidate, but as the next assemblyman from Mount St. George. Because there comes a time where sometimes you have to forget about party and forget about who you like or who you ain't like. And your main concern has to be your self-interest and who will adequately represent you and who will put your needs first. And while you ought to be satisfied that the PNM as a party will put Tobago first again, I have no doubt that in this election, in this district, that the comparison is between a lazy current assemblyman and a hard-working future assemblyman sitting on my right. So ensure that you give this young lady the support. She's passionate, she's vibrant, she is extremely hard-working. I've never seen a harder working candidate in my life. And the others are working hard, eh? But her hard working is a different level of hard working. Right? So I think the choice is clear. We have had an excellent conversation. And I want to alert the people of Tobago that the election is going to be very soon. I suspect that the House may be dissolved tomorrow. If it is not dissolved tomorrow, I expect that it will be dissolved sometime later this month. And therefore, there will be an election in the Tobago House of Assembly sometime between the middle of January to perhaps the middle of February. So the election is coming soon. And I'm saying to you, be on your guard. I gave the analogy of the house. Having done 4 years of damage, they will come over the next 2 months with goodies, with money, with rum, with toys for Christmas, with snack bags, with sweet nothings, with impossible plans. Understand that they're coming with bicycles and all for your children this Christmas, expensive gifts. And I'm saying to you, accept the gifts. If your child wants a bicycle, take the bicycle. If your child too small to ride a bicycle, take the bicycle and hang it up until the child gets big. However, remember the 4 years. 2 months of goodies, 2 months of bribes is not worth 4 years of hardship and stress and abandonment and neglect. So take the bribe if you have to. If you have no money and they give you $1,000 to vote for them, take the $1,000, say, yes, I go vote for you. But ensure that when you go into the polling booth, where it is you and your conscience and your God, that you remember the 4 years. Remember the last 4 years, where when you call them, you couldn't get on to them. Where all the jobs they promised never materialized. Where they totally obliterated or destroyed the Tobago economy to the extent that you suffered. Remember those 4 years. And ensure that you vote in your self-interest. Because Tobago is better off with a party and with a team of people that are passionate, that are honest, that are decent, and that are committed first and foremost to the people of Tobago. We don't have any bosses from Trinidad. We are not in the pocket of any contractors. And therefore, when we go to make decisions, we will make decisions in your best interests. We will ensure that every cent that is allocated to Tobago is spent in such a way that it will remain and circulate in Tobago and improve your Tobago economy right here so that you can benefit and your children and grandchildren can benefit. Well, I don't know if the mic captured that, but here ended the meeting.
Brothers and sisters of Tobago, friends and supporters of the People's National Movement, lovers of the Goodwood Mount St. George Electoral District, you have been a wonderful audience. Remember, we continue to put Tobago first again, and charity begins at home. So when you go home this evening, tell your friend, tell your husband, your brother, your children that they must come on board, join the PNM train as we put Tobago on an upward trajectory. Tobago deserves better. The conversation continues on Thursday, 13th November, and we're headed to Patience Hill Community Center.
6 p.m.
It's at 6 p.m. So I invite all of you to please join the conversation. We must put
9
Tobago
a.m., 6
first.
p.m. and not 7:30.
Thank you.